What is going on, everyone? IBL Dave here, and we are back today with another Kingdom Hearts 2 FM video. Again, this is continuing on with any % beginner tutorial to kind of help people out that are just starting out with a bunch of these super easy strats that you too can learn. Today we're going to be proceeding forward with Hollow Bastion 3rd Visit, which contains Core Fight, Corridor, and Dancer's Fight, DMX, Final Fantasy, and 1K. In which we will also proceed to cover Beast Castle 2nd Visit up to getting Rumbling Rose. So, first things first, when you're here, I quick dash to get Genie preset and also preset Genie at the same time. I'm going to quickly menu, go down to Goofy, put on Goofy Tornado, take off Goofy Bash, and that is going to be the extent of your first menu for here. So the strat that I'm going to be showcasing is a strat that I came up with. It's called Nobody Puts Genie in a Corner. The concept of the strat is to have Master Genie in a corner as soon as possible, and casting Magnet and doing Arcana. If you get Genie in Master Form right away, you can just simply proceed backwards to the corner that's right behind you. Otherwise, if you don't, just kind of dash back, get Genie into Master Form, and then proceed to the back right corner and do the Magnet into Arcana. Because once again, Genie has a nice little nifty magnet pull that when there's no targeted enemies or enemies that have an HP bar showing on your screen, those enemies will be dragged into your magnet. And they will not only get decimated, but they will also help refill your, they will also help to refill your drive, or not your drive, your summon gauge. So without any further ado, here we go. So again, quickly get Genie off the field. Into Arcana, kind of fall down enough to do that, into another Magnet, followed by another Arcana. And one more time, followed by the finisher, and that will kill. Be very careful because it can get out of hand very quickly if the ads start going nuts. So it's very easy for an ad to just kind of swoop on in. If anything like that happens, and that just kind of proceed to not do another Magnet Arcana until you've gotten at least close enough to the last wave of ads, which you know will be the last wave because there will be 4 dusks, and you'll also have that fire wizard that's left on the field after it gets slain, unfortunately. So now we're going to proceed to the next encounter. The next encounter we're going to be using Chicken Little. So right away we're going to Magnet and summon Chicken Little.
Gather! Give me strength!
We're going to go over to the left here. The Chicken Little can do that. Do 1-2 finishing leap, 1-2 finishing leap. And if you can, try and target lock the Dancer, because that's going to be his primary focus. And now you can dismiss Chicken Little. We're going to Magnet. Oh, okay, something hit them. We're going to Magnet. Do another Magnet. Okay, we're not going to do another Magnet. Do another Magnet. One more. And don't do break. That's very bad.
Let's go.
The goal is to do a magnet into the Trinity, and what you're wanting to do is have the enemies all be together and be able to do a major drive, pushing the enemies constantly back into the magnet, because it will quickly fill up your drive gauge to max. Now, unfortunately, Chicken Little didn't, where I was at the time, Chicken Little was not able to pull everybody in, so things kind of got, was kind of off there. So, once again, I will have another video. Again, I will have videos of every single encounter for the runs, that showcase how the fights are supposed to actually go. And for all intents and purposes, we're going to just quickly get our drive back here, so bear with me. Don't actually do this in a run, I'm just doing this for showcasing purposes. Because this does take a lot of time. The only reason I'm doing this is so that way you guys can see. So probably like the next minute, just kind of proceed forward to the Zenith fight. Actually, I'm going to make this easier on myself here. I just want to make sure that we got max drive, because after that encounter, you're technically, you will have max drive again. Again, trying to like explain a lot of these at the same time as I'm doing some of them, kind of messes myself up. So, before you get into the Demyx fight, you're going to want to preset both Trinity and Limit form if you can. If not, just make sure you take your time with making sure that you don't accidentally trigger Comet too soon.
Dance, water, dance!
So now with this, because Goofy is on Goofy Tornado, Goofy's going to actually help us out quite a bit in this fight, early on. We're going to destroy a bunch of water clones until we get around 30 to 32. 32 is like the ideal number before you go into Trinity, but if you want to play it safe, you can go down to at least 30. So what'll happen from there is we'll go into a Trinity. We will do Ultima, followed by Major, with the finisher after. During the Major, you're going to want to kind of like spray it around at the water clones to eliminate them as much as possible. The key number that you're looking for is at least 5 water clones on the field left. If you have 6 or more, you will not get a finisher, or you will not be able to get damage on Demyx. Even for as powerful as your Trinity will be, you will not get any damage on Demyx. 1 water clone will remain if you have 6. So you want to have 5 or less by the time that you're done with Major Drive before you go into the finisher. If you have 6, just do break really quick, but make sure to get yourself at least somewhat close in the position without losing Trinity.
Yeah. Oh, take this. Take this.
So Ultima, Major,
Light.
Finisher. And now, we're going to do... Wow, that took forever to pause. And now, because he's unfortunately recovered, so this is not going to go good. So, after the finisher, you're going to slide dash into Demyx, followed with another hit, and then proceed to do finishing leap. You're going to want to do that twice, with the sequence after that being you're going into limit form.
Dance, water, dance!
Unfortunately, because Demyx broke out, because it wouldn't let me pause the time, I'm going through this again.
It's over!
So,
Back off!
the whole thing is weird, so...
Give me a break! Yeah! Back off!
Into Arc,
Back off! Take this!
unfortunately, like I said again, because I couldn't pause it for whatever reason during the Trinity, this whole thing was all screwed up.
Blew it again.
So I'm not sure why it didn't let me pause it, so I apologize. I apologize for that. So now going forward, pop your AP boost real quick. It's not necessary, but you do need at least a couple. So we're going to throw on Vicinity Break and Flash Step. If you've already equipped Item Boost in Agrabah, you don't need to do that because you already have it on. And that is the whole menu for going into Final Fantasy fight. So at the very start, we're going to kind of walk forward a little bit towards Yuffie, and we're going to cast Magnet.
Sora, gather!
The reason that we're doing that is because when Yuffie attacks, she's going to eliminate basically everything that's inside that magnet in a hurry. Which will now start the next wave.
Gather! Take this! Yeah!
But if you're able to use Rising Suns, be sure to do those. Otherwise, make sure you're doing magnets and attacking the enemies that are inside the magnet.
Yeah! I'll help out! Gather!
So we're gonna magnet here again and attack all the enemies. Doing a bunch of finishing rates along the way. Once you get to 5, you're going to want to go into limit. Something I like to do is doing Infinity. Make sure you get the Gadget Impact. And then after that, doing Sonic Wave. The reason I like doing that is because it allows for that portion with Leon to kind of get sped up quite a bit. If everything goes good, you can easily revert back out. Start limit and begin doing the next encounter with Tifa. It's not terrible if you don't necessarily get enough drive right away, because the next section you will have more than enough.
This is it! Yeah!
Hurry! Go on ahead!
So for this next section, we're just quick running over, Infinity Break at the same time, and now we're doing Magnet into Trinity. And now, while the limit's finishing up, just keep doing that, and now go into limit once again. The goal here is to hit limit form level 2, and the way you level up your limit form is by performing the finisher of the limit that you are using. So if you're using Sonic Rave, you keep going until you get to the finisher for Sonic Rave, so on and so forth. You're going to want to try to end this fight in limit, because then that will be a safety net going forward. Cloud's going to take care of the rest of the enemies, so you can just kind of keep running up against here to quickly proceed forward. We're going to have one more menu here. We're going to go to Goofy, put Goofy Tornado and Goofy Jackpot on, because with Jackpot, it'll give you extra money. So they're going to run over to this AP boost. Now, for all intents and purposes, I like to use my AP boost right before I go into the fight, because then that makes my menuing for Beast Castle very smooth. So, after that, preset Thunder as a backup, and proceed into 1K, which is the most RNG fight you will encounter. So, this fight we're mostly relying on the surveillance bots and their Sparkle Ray. The goal here is to hopefully have the Sparkle Ray buddies work with one another, so that way we can quickly get back-to-back Sparkle Rays, and so on and so forth. The one thing you want to be super duper careful with is if a surveillance bot starts winding up to do its attack, either try and get a Thunder off if you're able to target the surveillance bot, or keep reflecting until his attack is done. Or what I'm going to show is reflecting and doing the RC for the snag. And realistically, that's all there is to this fight. It's extremely dangerous, so just be rather careful. That's why you want to try and end the Final Fantasy fight in limit form, because then that gives you a safety buffer if things get hairy. Because when you transform, you get all your HP and MP back.
It's over. This is it. It's over. Take this.
And it's not a big deal to get hit a couple times, but it does start becoming a big deal if
Take this.
you're really starting to get wailed on.
Back off. Back off. Back off.
Oh, I couldn't get it.
Take this.
And the goal here as well is to try and keep yourself positioned in the center, because that'll give you the most amount of heartless to which you can kill with Sparkle Ray. Because if you're proceeding to stay in the corner, then you're not going to get nearly as many heartless.
It's over. It's over. Take this. It's over.
The little knights here don't do nearly as much damage as surveillance bots. Surveillance bots are the most scary part about this entire fight. The other part you gotta be super careful with is
It's over.
you have a chance
Yeah.
for there to be like 1,000, and I'm exaggerating, but 1,000 surveillance bots on the field at once, and that's basically a death trap at that point. Again, the fight is very RNG, so you can never expect to have the same 1K in a row. So it's really about just reacting to the situation and trying to handle the situation the best you can, because again, the ads that they throw in is all RNG. the amount of surveillance bots you get, and when they want to do their sparkle or their snag ability is also RNG dependent. You can force the snag, but you don't want to waste your magic too much. So if you cast Thunder on a surveillance bot, it will basically force them into allowing you to have their snag RC. And again, I say that to do that with caution because you will end up using your magic up if you're just going to try and rush through it by doing that. But that is 1K. 1K is honestly the scariest fight.
I guess sometimes help.
Even on beginner, you can die. So we're going to skip through all this and make our way to Beast Castle for second visit.
A photo and some ice cream.
Riku?
Yeah.
Just this feeling. Hey, what if the heart...
But Sora,
So once again, you can just dash down to Beast Castle, because this one's a little bit trickier to just World Warp. So once again, we're going to Beast Castle for second visits. If you used Limit previously, Limit's going to be already preset, just forewarning. So you can either do one of two things. When you're proceeding over to the parlor room, because we want to go to the parlor room to get the warp for that room when we come back, because we're not finishing this room entirely. So when proceeding to Beast, I like to also preset Trinity, because the strat I'm going to show you is a very easy strat to learn, and it's also extremely effective. So basically, at the start of this, the Dragoons that I'm facing at right now, the way that this works is obviously the way that Sora's facing is the direction I'm going to be jumping into. So what you're going to do at the very start is you're going to jump towards a Dragoon and you're going to target lock. 90% of the time you're going to target lock the Dragoon to the right, which is kind of covered by Goofy's shield. As soon as you do your target lock, you're going to want to follow that up with a magnet. While doing the magnet, you're going to want to try and quickly menu Trinity, and you're going to do Ultima. If it's all done properly, you will only need Ultima and do the finisher to end the fight. As a safety net, if you would like to, just to try and save a little bit of extra time of trying to chase down Dragoons and Dusts, you can also do Major Drive after as a safety net to ensure that you've got enough hits for the kill.
Gather!
So we'll do the Major Drive just to be safe here. But I'm pretty sure I had enough to kill, but oh, we almost got it. So if you don't get the kill even with that, just proceed to kill whatever enemies are left. They usually are going to be super close by. There's no menu here. So if you're doing this, if you haven't preset Wisdom, which you don't necessarily need to, you just need to make a mental note that you are already on Limit. You need to make a mental note that you're already on Limit, so what you can do is you can dash forward up into Wisdom, because once you plant, you can then proceed to move quickly. So you're going to hang out right, and we're going to make our way up to Beast's Room. Now, if you're fast enough through here, you don't have to use Reflect to avoid getting hit. If you get hit, it's no big deal. We're going to talk to Beast again to get Rumbling Rose. So now, for this menu, we're switching Beast out for Goofy. We're going up to items. In your main Keyblade, it's going to be Rumbling Rose. And in Master Form, you're going to have Hero's Crest. Now, if you haven't used the AP boost already, you would then burn your AP boost that you have remaining until you've used them all up. From there, what you will do is your menu will consist of going down to put on Guard Break. And that's your menu. Yeah, you'll proceed down to Guard Break, and that will end up being your menu for after getting Rumbling Rose. And then from there, since we're not finishing Beast Castle just yet, we will then warp out of the world and make our way to Pirate. But that is the end of this video, guys. Hopefully this has helped, and in the next one we will be covering Second Visit. I will go over Second Visit Port Royal 2 and Second Visit for Halloween Town. Till next time, I will catch you guys later.